Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the Xnito bike helmet. As the popularity of e-bikes and scooters increases, more riders are riding at higher speeds. Xnito has seen this as an opportunity to develop a cycling helmet that not only meets the standard CPSC and CE requirements, but also the higher speed Dutch NTA-8776 certification. This results in an e-bike helmet that's safer at higher speeds. As you can see, the packaging is very nice and simple. This is part of the old school collection. They have quite a few color options, but with this Valkyrie version, you have these bright graphics, a lot of the explanations of why Xnito is marketing this helmet. You can see some of the stats, 87% better than CPSC because of the higher speeds, and other facts on here. We'll go ahead and take this out of the box and go over the specs. So retail price on this is $150, so pretty affordable for a smarter style helmet. It has the NTA-8776 certification again, which is rated for up to 28 miles an hour versus 15, which is what the CPSC and CE certifications use. You have integrated front and rear lights. So these are onboard LEDs that you can recharge the USB Type-C charger. And it's good for 90 lumens. You have 10 air vents, so it's pretty well ventilated for an urban style helmet. And you have a removable front visor, which you can see is detached here, and a dial fit system to really get the fit in, as well as a magnetic front buckle, which is a premium feature we don't really see on lower priced helmets usually. In terms of what comes with the helmet, obviously you get the helmet. This is the Valkyrie version, which you can see bright red and gold color scheme. It really looks pretty cool. You have that removable fabric bill, and then it just attaches using the Velcro. So you can just swap in the pad for the visor version if you prefer it. And then you also have a USB Type-C charging cable to charge the lights, which again, it's nice to see. A lot of companies are still using standard USB ports instead of USB Type-C. We also have a little owner's manual and a little thank you card on the inside. Now let's take a look at the weight of the helmet. We have the medium/large variation, and that comes in at 360 grams, so pretty light considering it's an urban helmet with lights on it. Visually, the Xnito has a classic urban helmet style. You can see the profile on the back extends a little bit further than a standard road bike, and it's deeper overall to give you more protection. It has a basic dome shape to it, with a lot of vents that you don't typically see with urban bikes. So it has 10 different vents, and you can see it keeps you cooler. The color scheme on here is a Valkyrie version. So you can see it's part of their old school, and it looks really cool. So you have all these nice graphics, the wings on the side, and this maroon and gold color scheme, which really looks pretty cool. The Xnito logo on the back. You have the rear light, which is white until you turn it on. And then again, the front light. So a pretty nice package overall, and there's tons of color schemes here, so you can find the one that matches your personality. And a more stylish helmet is one you're gonna wear more often, so it's nice to see companies put a little more effort in than standard matte finishes. You can see the helmet is fully finished as well. You have the main shell on the exterior. So it's a standard in-mold construction with a polymer shell on the exterior to protect that foam. It has a fully finished exterior black portion. So this actually fills in the rim of the helmet. It makes it feel more premium. You don't have any exposed foam at the edges. So it lasts longer and definitely looks better. You also have these nice reflective detailing on the side strap, so really nice to see. So at night you'll still be visible whether you have the lights on or not. And then you can see the lights here as well. So there's one power button on the back. It's a single press to turn it on, and you only have 3 modes, so flashing with the constant front. Then you have solid front and rear. And then a fun one which animates the rear up and down while keeping the front solid. And you can see this is not a cob LED. You can actually see the individual elements on here, so it's less uniform. That's one downside to this versus the higher or more expensive helmets on the market, which have a more uniform glow to them. But the lights are well integrated. You can see it's flush. You don't have anything sticking out. And it's obviously designed for it, so they cut the foam to accommodate the lights. And then another press to turn it off. There is no mode memory or no holding, so you have to just press it 3 times to get back to off. The charging port is right underneath it as well. So if you pull up the little gasket, you have the USB Type-C port, which again, really nice to see here. Most devices are going to USB Type-C, so you can reuse the same cable. On the inside of this helmet, you don't have any MIPS or anything. Instead, you just have standard foam construction with this nice soft foam. So it's pretty plush and it's just Velcroed in. So you can easily just remove it and then swap in the visor if you chose to. A dial system here to tighten and loosen the cradle. So you can get a really nice fit, and you can see the little skinny plastic arms that extend down and through the front. Air channels are cut in through here. So you can see these little cutouts on the inside. That helps direct air from the external vents through the helmet and then out the rear to keep you cool. Again, this has more vents than traditional urban helmets, which usually have 1 or 2 vents only. So this is a great option if you want to ride longer distances or you ride in warmer climates. You also have the magnetic buckle. So it's a little Fidlock buckle. And instead of a plastic design, you just sort of get them close and you can see it'll just lock into place. So you can do this one-handed. So nice feature, and again, a premium touch you typically see only on higher end helmets. There are 3 output modes to choose from with the helmet. You have flash, which flashes the rear, keeps the constant on the front. Then you have constant, which is obviously constant on both the front and rear. This will have the lowest run time. Then you have wavy, which is an animated rear while keeping the front constant. Xnito doesn't give you the lumen count runtime per mode though. They just claim it's up to 10 hours and 90 lumens. Here you can see the helmet with a little bit of modeling poses, and the color scheme is really cool on this, so that red and gold really complement each other, and the wings on the side really make it stand out. The front integrated lights, also a really nice touch, and you can see even here during the day, you can still see them. You obviously can't ride at night with just the helmet. You're going to need a headlight and taillight, but it's a nice extra piece of visibility, and because it's so high, they'll definitely see it. The only real complaint we have about the helmet is that the lights aren't that wide, so you can see from the side. You don't really see the front or rear taillight as well as you could with other helmets which are wider. So in future versions, it'd be nice to be a little bit wider. The helmet itself is very comfortable though, at only 300 something grams. It's pretty light, unlike a lot of other LED integrated helmets which are really heavy. This one feels more like a road bike. You have the ventilation, very easy to adjust, and adjustable side straps as well with that magnetic buckle. Now let's do a little comparison between the Xnito and other helmets on the market. When it comes to urban helmets, the Lazer Cityzen is a pretty good option. You can see almost identical profiles from the side. You have extended coverage on the rear and a dome shape. Now the Lazer has a lot less ventilation. You just have that U shape in the front, fake side vents, and a couple of vents on the exterior, while the Xnito has a lot more smaller vents to help air get through it. And you also have the integrated lights, while the Lazer has a separate optional light that attaches on this USB Type-C style connector. So not quite as advanced or bright, and doesn't have the higher speed certification. There are other helmets with that higher speed certification, like the Burn Hudson, who I don't have on hand to show, but it's not the only helmet on the market. If you're looking for illumination, the Unit 1 Faro is probably one of our favorites. You can see it has a hidden rear LED here, a full matrix of lights, a cob LED construction, so it looks a lot sleeker than the Xnito. That's the one downside of the Xnito. It uses single LEDs versus a cob LED design, which is a circuit on board design. So you can see that has individual ones. It gives you a more smooth illumination versus this individual style on the Xnito. So one downside, but the Xnito is a lot cheaper. The Unit 1 is about $250, so you're paying a lot more. And you can see, while it is sleeker, it's quite a bit heavier due to all these electronics. And then you have a separate app to control this. So if you want to change the modes, you actually have to go through the app, while the Xnito just has a simple button to cycle through them. The other helmet we have here is the Bolle Halo React. So again, very similar profiles. What's cool about the Halo React is that the vents are a lot larger, so this looks more like a road cycling helmet, while the Xnito has more vents, but is obviously more of an urban style. So it's a good balance if you're looking for something for longer distances or multiple use for road cycling potentially. That would be a good option. This also has integrated lights, so you can see the rear. It is actually a cob LED, so more uniform, and it has these integrated hidden ones down the front that you can't even see when it's off. So they're not quite as bright as the Xnito, but they're there. And then this is more eco-friendly, but quite a bit more expensive due to the more higher quality materials and then just some of the cost of integrating those LEDs. So one thing to consider, but obviously the Xnito is a good balance between a standard helmet with integrated lights and the higher speed certification. Now let's go over the pros and cons of the Xnito helmet. What I like about it is that there are a lot of creative colorways to choose from old school to modern to retro, so you can find the one that really matches your personality. It's also well ventilated for an urban helmet. You have 10 vents instead of the standard 1 or 2, so it keeps you cooler if you're in a warmer climate or doing a longer ride. You also have integrated lights and reflective straps that keep you visible, and you don't have a giant weight penalty for those additional electronics. Some of the cons for the helmet is the fact that it does lack MIPS or a MIPS equivalent. It does have the higher crash rating, but not that rotational safety feature. Also, the lights use an SMD design, which is a surface mounted design, rather than a cob design, which is more uniform and smaller. So it looks a little bit older and less modern than other helmets. Also, there's no multi-level battery status indicator, so you do have to be careful how much battery you have left and just charge it preemptively. Taking everything into account would give the helmet a 9.0 out of 10. It's a nice urban helmet with a lot of creative colors and premium features like the NTA-8776 crash rating. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us on our website at thesweetcyclist.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at thesweetcyclist. This is The Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.